The eyes of Week 10 are upon us, and I have to say, this is a great slate of college football games. A lot of concentration of good quality games, and what should be a fun weekend of college football. We'll start off with Kansas State at Texas. It's 11 a.m. kick on Fox. This is one of the most intriguing games of the weekend because you have defending conference champion, Big 12 champion, Kansas State coming into Austin ranked number 25 in the country with a 6-2 record. They're going against number 7th ranked Texas, who has a 7-1 record. And what's amazing to me is looking at the stats, how closely these two teams match up. When you look at stats like offensive points per game, Texas coming in averaging 34.5 per game, Kansas State 37.4. Defensive points per game, Texas allowing 16 points per game, ranked number 13th in the country. Kansas State comes in allowing 15.9 points per game, ranked 12 in the country. Turnovers allowed, Texas 9, Kansas State 7. Turnovers forced, Texas 13, Kansas State 10. So to say that these two teams are closely matched is actually an understatement. They're almost mirror images of each other. Now, if you go back to 2022, these two teams played in Manhattan. Texas came away with a very close victory, 34-27, essentially winning the game late in the fourth quarter via turnover. And going into this season's matchup, I don't see things playing out much differently. I think this is going to be a very close ball game from start to finish because you have two very high quality defenses and you have two very productive offenses. And to me, the game just has the feel of a heavyweight slugfest. The line says Texas by 4. I've got Texas winning 27-23 in a very tight, very hard-hitting, very defensively focused football game. Now, continuing with the first window of games on Saturday, we have Arkansas at Florida. This probably will not be a very exciting game. I know both fan bases of these teams are extremely upset at the way things are going for their team this season. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be a game full of highlights for SportsCenter. I've got Florida winning by a score of 17-13 over Arkansas in the Swamp. Moving to the ACC, we have Notre Dame at Clemson. Again, kind of a tale of two teams who are disappointing their fan bases. Now, of the two teams, Clemson easily the most disappointing. I've got Notre Dame winning 24-20 on the road at Clemson. Moving to the SEC, but staying in the first window, we have Texas A&M visiting Ole Miss. A&M is in a world of hurt right now. Jimbo Fisher's seat is extremely hot, and he needs a victory quite badly. Unfortunately for him and the Aggies, I don't see them picking that victory up in Oxford. I've got the Rebels winning 45-28 at home over the Aggies of Texas A&M. Moving to the second window in the SEC on CBS, 2:30 p.m. Central kick, we've got Missouri at Georgia. Missouri has been a darling of the college football world this season and a dark horse contender for the SEC East. Unfortunately for them, Saturday is the day those dreams come to an end. I've got Georgia winning 28-17 in Athens over the Missouri Tigers. Staying in the second window, but moving to the Big 12, the last bedlam game for the foreseeable future, Oklahoma at Oklahoma State. Coach Gundy from Oklahoma State has had this game circled on his calendar since before the season even began. He has been one of the most passionate voices against Oklahoma leaving the Big 12. Oklahoma coming off the stunning loss to Kansas the week before, and no one really knows what's happening with that program. Was last week just an aberration? Was it a blip? Or is it a sign of some bigger problems within the Sooner football world? In this one, I've got passion winning over pure talent. Oklahoma State 45, Oklahoma 42. Gundy gets the last ever win over the OU Sooners in Bedlam. Moving to 6:30 p.m. Central's kick, we go to the Pac-12, Washington at USC. USC barely in contention for the Pac-12 championship game. And you have to think, for them at least at this point in their season, every game is a must-win. Unfortunately, Washington is just the far superior team. As such, I've got the Huskies coming into Los Angeles and winning by a score of 35-31 over the Trojans. At 6:45 Central, moving back to the SEC and moving back to CBS for a rare CBS night game, we have LSU at Alabama. Now, this game has traditionally, for the last 10 to 15 years, been one of the better matchups in college football. Not just the SEC, but in college football as a whole. Because this particular game tends to decide who wins the SEC West. And several times it's decided who goes to play for a national title. This year, I don't think either team is national championship worthy, but Alabama at least is still in the playoff hunt. This is going to be a fun game to watch. Expect a lot of offensive fireworks for a change. I've got the Crimson Tide pulling it out at home by a score of 31-24 over the LSU Tigers. And finally, moving to the ACC at 7 p.m. Central, we've got Miami at NC State. Miami has had an up and down season, to say the least. This week, though, I think things are looking up for the Hurricanes. I've got Miami winning by a score of 21-16 over the Wolfpack of NC State. Last week, my record was 8-3, bringing the overall season record to 77-33. Hopefully, you have a great time watching college football this weekend, and I wish your team the very best of luck. Remember, this is supposed to be fun, so enjoy the college football season while it's here. God bless you, have a good time, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.